hosted by Bishop Jerome Jones. This show is all about aiding ministries in financial growth and prosperity. Tune in weekly as we delve into strategies for expanding ministries and acquiring the necessary resources for survival in today's world. Discover practical solutions and actionable steps applicable to any congregation. Don't miss Making Provisions for Ministries with Bishop Jerome Jones. It's time to take your ministry to new heights.
Hello there, and welcome to Reaching the Next Generation, Jerome Jones Ministries, and Making Provision for Ministries. I'm going to be sharing with you today about a community of like-minded people helping people. So I hope you'll stay tuned to us, be with us, and those of you that are getting us in our private meeting room, I want to say welcome aboard, and we are so thankful that you are part of this great community. When I talk about a community that is getting the job done, I am so excited to be able to bring to you a real body of people that think like-minded and that are getting the job done in helping people all over the world. Now, those of you that are familiar with me personally know that I am big in helping missions in various nations around the world. And to partner with a community that has that as their top mission is really a blessing for me. But I want to say to you today, you may be struggling. You may be going through a crisis. You may be financially having a shortfall. You just may not be able to make ends meet. I want you to know that there is a community that will and is willing to help you. It's a private club. There are several of these clubs. All of them is a conglomerate of one major group that has many different facets. And when I talk to you about them helping you, I am also letting you know at the same time, you as a member is helping them too, and is helping others around the world. So if you're looking to make a few extra dollars to supplement the money that you already have coming in, or if you're looking to make a full-time income or even a retirement income, this community has just what you need. And not only do they have what you need, but inside of this community is an answer for the cost of goods, the cost of gas, the cost of cars, the cost of homes, the cost of just everyday living. There's an answer here for you. So I want you to take a moment and visit the links that's in the description so that you can see firsthand the benefits that this group and this community provide and is providing for men all over the world. This is actually global, and it's not nickels and dimes either, because it can go range anywhere from $10 to $20,000. So this is not this nickel and dime stuff that is just of no significance. But one of the things that is really good about this project, for those of you that are in the affiliate market, those of you that are in the online business, and you're trying to get your foot in the market where you can be successful, you're trying to carve your way into a spot on online business. Well, this is an excellent uh, affiliate marketing program. And the reason it is so is because everything that this club is associated with are things that people absolutely need and things that they're already buying. And so when you have a demand for a product, then it's more likely that you're going to sell much more of that product. And the thing about this is you don't have to sell anything. You just as if someone knows that certain goods is at Walmart. So what they do, they go to Walmart. They know that certain goods are at Publix. So what they do, they go to Publix. And whatever else there is in the marketplace that they have an appetite for. Well, I want you to know that this club has something for every individual at every price level, and the return on this is astronomical. So I want to encourage you to take a look at it and tell me whether or not is this the right fit just for you. I believe that it is tailor made just for you. And I'm not saying that being ignorant to what I mean when I say tailor made. And the reason I can say that is because there is something for every individual, no matter what level you're on. You can even join for free. You can be a part of this dynamic community. And I am so thankful that I am a part of it. Now, I'm going to be sharing with you a number of things. And those of you that are being trained in the online business for success, I'm going to be sharing with you a number of things. But one of the things that I cannot overly emphasize, and that is if you want to be successful, you have to mark someone that is successful. You're not going to be successful if you're always turning away or always not being mentored or guided by someone that is successful, someone that already knows the pathway to success. And if you follow someone that knows the pathway to success, that means that you also will be successful. And I believe that that's what you want. That's why you're in this course. That's why you're in our private training group. And those of you that are watching online, no matter what you endeavor in, your goal is to be successful in that endeavor. So I want to tell you that you may say, well, I'm satisfied with my job. Good. Check this out and take a look at it and see how it can bring a better enhancement to your job. You may say, I'm satisfied with where I am financially. Good. And I applaud that. I just finished telling someone a week ago or so that if you're satisfied with what you're already doing, if you're completely satisfied with it, don't move away from it. Because if you're working with something that is working for you, don't move away from that unless you are fully persuaded that what you're moving to is better than what you have now. I tell people that all the time. Don't move away from something that is already working for you, no matter what something else sounds like. If you've got something that's working for you and you're satisfied with that, don't move away from that going after something else that you are not fully persuaded that is better than what you have. I'm here to tell you that I believe that what I am presenting to you is better than what you have. Now, I'm not even talking about the financial part. I'm not even talking about the community of like-minded people in the financial industry that can afford you to make all kinds of income with just a single transaction over a number of 3 years, 5 years, or 7 years. So if you're watching and you happen to stroll across this broadcast, I want to encourage you to click on those links that I've got in the description and take a look at what they are. Now, you're going to find some things there that I know that if you just open yourself up to the possibility that this might be the one that you've been looking for. Just open yourself up to that possibility. I am sitting here in the room here and just kind of like in my little makeshift studio and thought, well, it's late, but I had this unction just to come online. I'm feeding this broadcast into our Telegram business for success, for online success group, and I'm feeding it in also to some of our other locations. And I just thought, you know, there's a there's a need in the world today. We've been looking at cost of everything going up, but yet, you know, God is not bankrupt. You know, God is not bankrupt. He is not uh, someone that depends on the state of the economy, because we're not to live by that. We're to live by the economy of heaven, and the economy of heaven is never bankrupt, and it is always giving out more than enough. So I want to encourage you today. I want to encourage you to take a look at this. Take a look at it. Uh, and when you do, let's not don't worry about what the if it says the gas club, forget the gas part, because you're gonna make an income, and you can do with that income whatever you want. We just label it different labels so that you can focus on something and realize what it can do in that respect. But if you can take your income and do whatever you want to do with it. And you can get started with this for as little as 10 US dollars. 10 US dollars. And you can get in. And once you get in at 10 US dollars, listen, it's not $10 a month. It's just $10 that one time. And your membership, that's what you're getting, a membership into this club. And it entitles you now to receive help from all of these other members that may be at different levels than you do. Some members may be all the way up to a $20,000 interest level, and you get to benefit. You get to benefit. This is really people helping people. Now, I know you probably say, well, I've seen stuff like that before. I've seen programs like that before. Well, you're going to continue to see them because that's the reality of the world that we live in. But this is a proven concept, and it is real people that you can talk to them, you could reach out to them, you could see them, who the chairman of the board is. That's what I'm amazed about, the transparency of this company. Now, I've been saying to you from JJ Business Academy that our goal is to bring you some of the finest opportunities that there is on the market today, that also make it near zero risk for you, and to see the transparency. In fact, when you become a member, you will get to know who the board of directors are. You'll see the chairman of the board, and you'll be listening to the chairman of the board in many cases if you attend any kind of gathering, because they're very, very open and transparent and really, really hands-on, and they have a heart to support missions around the world. They already have several missions where they're feeding children, and you can participate in that project just by becoming a member of the club. And so I want to encourage you that if you're going through a financial crisis and you say, I just need a little help, then become a member and let's take a look at how this is going to change the trajectory of your financial life, and it's going to cause you to be in a position not only to cover your bills, but to be of help to those that are less fortunate. So I hope that you will look at these links that we have here, particularly the DBM family, the community. It is indeed a community of like minded people that is committed to making a difference in the lives of multitudes of people. And the income that you could receive from being a member of this community is staggering. And one of the things that JJ Business Academy is teaching its students is to always look for something that will provide both short and long term success. What we don't want is just quick overnight and fly by night opportunities that doesn't gender the promise that is being made. You want to make sure that you are having your involvement, that you're engaging in projects that offers both of them. Short term, because many times you need help now. And so if you have a model that answers your immediate need, then you also want to see if that model will answer your long term needs as well. And the reason is because if it doesn't, it just could be a one hit wonder. In other words, you could actually do a little business on the front end, but it can be completely fizzled out before you get started good. So you want to have a model that says, yes, I know that you need something that will answer what is pending today, but also you want to be able to have the peace of mind in knowing that it is providing long term success. And that's what JJ Business Academy is making sure that its students are equipped to identify the kind of uh, online businesses, the kind of investments that provides both the short-term success and long-term success. Now, if you follow us and you see what we're doing, then if you really want the results, you got to do what people that's getting results are doing. It doesn't matter whether you understand it or not. In fact, if I want results and I see someone, if I want the results that I see someone else getting, it's easy. All I got to do is do what they do. If I have the ability to do what they do, then I do what they do and I'll get the results. And as I get those results, I'll understand fully more about what I'm doing. So I want to encourage you to take a moment, slow it down, and visit these links. I'm sure, I'm sure if you just be open to change or open to the reality that it just might be what you've been looking for, I am sure that this community has something that will really be of help to you. So if you're frustrated because you've been in programs before and you've sank a lot of money into programs and it didn't pan out for you, hey, we done been down that road. We understand it. So what do you do now? Do you just crawl up in a corner and say that's it? Or do you have some resiliency? And so I'm going to keep on knocking because one day the door is going to open and it's going to be exactly what I've been knocking on doors for. So I want to encourage you today, don't give up on your dream. Don't give up on that goal that you had. Don't give up. A lot of times people get right to the brink of success and they give up before they can experience it. And I want to encourage you today, take a look at this. I don't care how many projects, how many programs you've been in the past. Take a look at this. And I'm offering also something in addition to this, because I know that many times people uh, have a fear. And the fear sometimes is, what if I fail? Well, that's one of the reasons that investigate programs and only bring programs to you that if you did nothing, you would not be exposed financially. That's why we do what we do. And so, with a $10 entrance to a club that has multitude of opportunities that benefits you, then you're not financially exposed because you're not sinking money into this over and over and over. And our second project is the same. You don't have to continue to sink your hard earned money into something before you know that it works. And if many people would follow that model, we have a lot better community. You know, when you know something works, you got the results in your hand. Now you can go all out. Now you can really press the button and push forward with a full throttle commitment. But you need to be sure when it comes to investing your monies, when it comes to parting with what you already have in hopes of getting something else. You just got to be sure, and you got to do it in a way that you can afford the worst. If you cannot afford the worst, don't do it. It's as simple as that. If you can't afford the worst, don't do it. I entered into this club. It cost me $10. Now I can afford the worst. If the $10 never make me a dime or never give me one benefit, I mean, it's not going to break me. It's not going to cause me to be hungry. It's not going to cause me to be homeless. It's not going to cause me to, it's just not. It's just not. It's $10. But on the other side of that $10 is hundreds and thousands of dollars that is available to me. So I'm here to tell you that this is unlike what you may have, seen in the past. This is a winner. This is a winner. And so I want to encourage you to go take a look and do it diligently and then become a member. Become a member. Get on my team. And if you show up on my team, together you and I are going to go all the way to the top. If you show up on my team, so I don't care where you are. You can be in the United States of America. You can be in Gambia, Africa. You can be in Zimbabwe, South Africa, Uganda, Pakistan, India. You can be in Nigeria, Liberia, you know, Kenya. I have people in all of those areas associated with us that we are working with. It doesn't matter where you are. If you get on this team, you and I are going to go all the way to the top. And I just can't wait to see the joy on your face when you realize that, my God, it finally is happening. Okay, so I just want to tell you, come on, come on. I know this is not some formal setting, and and I'm not trying to be diplomatic and all of that. I'm just want to have a conversation with you, and I want you guys to know that look, there's a lot of well polished people, and I could probably be one of them. When I say well polished, there's a lot of people that can talk very good, and I can kind of run with some of those guys. We can talk a good presentation, and you can just get everybody all riled up and hyped up, and it's one thing to do that, you know, but it's a totally different thing for you to do that while knowing all along that the project that you're pushing don't do what you say. That's just, to me, that I don't know how you sleep doing that. At least when I lay down at night, I'm at peace because I know that the things that I am telling you, they do what I'm telling you they do. And the customer after customer would testify to the same. So I want you to take time to examine it. This is what I tell all people. I tell them everywhere I go. I tell them, so don't just take the presenter's word for it. Man, people do this every day. They get up being trained how to do this. They get up being trained how to sit behind the camera, get a microphone on, and just talk to people. They're trained to do that. And that's why you can go online any given moment in any given hour and find them by the hundreds online giving presentations so that you can be trained to do this. So what I try to do, because I'm fully aware of that, I said, don't just take my word for it. Trust me, don't just take my word for it. Do your due diligence. Check out the facts. Check this out, because this is going to change your life if you take part. I know that, but that's not good enough. I know how great it is, but that's not good enough. You have to know it, and you have to believe it, and you have to be fully persuaded, and you ought to be before you shove out any money toward anything. And if somebody's doing a presentation, they don't tell you that, there's a reason why they don't tell you that. It's because they're after trying to make a sale. Their motivation is just to make a sale. They care less about whether or not you got enough money to take to make the sale, whether or not it's going to put you in a bankruptcy if you do it. They don't care anything about that. They just want to get that sale from you and then move on to the next person. What I have done and what I am doing with JJ Business Academy is training people how to spot even the cons, the scams, how to make smart decisions in business, and how to discern and identify the type of business model that will give you the very success that you're looking for. That's what I do. And so if you are listening and watching my broadcast, I want you to understand why I tell people don't just take the presenter's word for it, because I am fully aware that there are people that gets online, don't even have a product, and they just grab something and write a script for it and post it on the internet and get some nice pictures to showcase it, and they are well trained in speaking, and they go at it, and before you know it, hundreds and thousands of people have bought that product, and they are millionaires, and the people that got those products are still poor because the product never was intended to make them better. It never had that intention at all. And so I know this field. I know. And I started JJ Business Academy because of that. I know it. And there are people that listen to me that know that I know it. And so I want you to be mindful that this is a community. JJ Business Academy is building a community of like minded people, and we're taking those individuals to the next level. We're taking them to the level of success that they have not yet experienced. If you want to be a part of the training that we provide at JJ Business Academy, then click on those links, subscribe to our podcast. We have a podcast that will be talking about the cryptocurrency and what cryptocurrency, the program, that the project that I am in, that is paying us hundreds and thousands of dollars. Listen, I'm going to be able to, and I've done this in several broadcasts, and you may even find them still on my Facebook page. But we've actually taken you into our back office to let you see the progression of my accounts that are being built, uh, they are being increased every day. Every day that account is being increased. More money is being paid into my accounts. I want to show you how you can make one transaction and then sit down for 3 years or 5 years or 7 years. And based on whichever one of those plans you take, if you take the 5 year plan or the 7 year plan, you'll be set to retire. And I want to show it to you. I want to show you what is happening with my account. And I say this to those of you that are business entrepreneurs. I say to those of you that are homeowners, those of you that are career professionals, and those of you that are buried in poverty. This is for every one of you. There are no one that this will not work for. You don't need any credit score. You don't need any capital. You don't need but one transaction. And you will get this. Get this. You provide an activation fee. And on the very first day, the bank gives you $30,240 for every 3 year plan. And the same bank will give you $43,200 for every 5 or 7 year plan you select. And you know the money they give you? That money is going to be used to make you money. Now, how do you like that for a money-making opportunity? See, that's what JJ Business Academy is all about. Finding the best opportunities available to you that gives you a high return and reduce the risk. You and I in this program that we're talking about can only be exposed with $100 one time. Now, the bank's going to give me, and I'm saying going to, but the banks have already given me over $116,000. Now, I want you to think about that. I just want you to let that sink in for a moment. And it's that $116,000 that is being invested in all of the markets and coins and whatnot, and paying me every day into my account every day. And I don't have nothing to do. I don't have to manage it. I don't have to sell nothing, buy nothing, attend any meetings. All I need to do is open up my back office and see how much money did I make today. Now that's just kind of like, to me, that's just good stuff. I mean, I'm not doing anything. And when I tell people you don't have to do nothing, they say, "Well, no, it's impossible. It's impossible. Everything is impossible until it happened." I mean, just think. It was impossible to fly until the Wright brothers flew. Everything is, it was impossible to make a phone call until Graham Bell made the phone. It was impossible. Everything is impossible until it happened. Telling you, not only is happening, but there's a few million people that can testify that they are on the receiving end of this project that only cost the participants a one-time fee of $100, and they don't have nothing else to do. You have to try to find out what's the best thing to trade, what's the best thing to, when to buy or when to sell. You don't have any responsibility other than activating the account. The bank has already loaned the money to the smart contract. The bank have already loaned the money to the smart contract. And not only that, it gets better. It gets better because not only has the bank loaned the money to the contract, but now there is an insurance company that has insured this bank loan. Now, what does that do? That's one of the most powerful pieces in this whole equation, because that means that the bank cannot lose. If the project goes to a complete failure, the bank gets paid 100% of the loan back. But what does it also mean for Jerome Jones? It means that I'm not exposed to any financial losses. I love the sound of that, because I can go into something with confidence knowing that if the worst case scenario happened, I'm not out of a life savings. I'm not out of 5, 10, 15, 20,000, not even 1,000, not even 500. And that's over 3, 5, or 7 years. I spend more than that in junk food in 7 years or 5 years or 3 years. You do too. So what I'm pointing to is that in this business training for success, we have the substantive products that will tell anybody if that model there be real, then it's extremely successful. Now, we have verifiable methods. We're not just talking. We're not just saying something and all of a sudden it's just our word. No, 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 no. In this, uh, you can go online, type in blockchainexplorer.com, and you will see transactions of millions and billions of dollars And I could go on there and see my transactions that I didn't even have to do. And why is that important? Because when a transaction gets on the blockchain, it is a lock. The blockchain is the most safe and secured financial banking transaction there is in the world. And when something gets on the blockchain, it has passed all security checks. And the other part about it is that it's anonymous. It's totally anonymous. And so now the money that I make can work, make money for me, keep on working, making money for me. And at the end of the term that I selected, I will have all of the profits paid into my account for the duration of that contract. Now, you said, well, why are the banks doing this and why are the insurance companies doing this? Well, the banks are getting a very good price. The banks makes 6.75% annual interest off of every contract, uninterrupted. It's automated. Everything is automated. I don't have to be making no payments. I don't have to deal with none of it. But the banks make that off of every contract every year. If the money that they gave to me for the contract would have set in their banks, then they would have gotten about 2% on a good deal. But now they get 6.75%, and that's guaranteed. Plus, they got a guaranteed loan if there should be a default or fraud. They get 100% of the loan paid back by the insurance company. So the banks are not complaining. And I got to tell you this, and you need to understand this. And this should be a big thing to all of you that are in the training, as well as you that are just hearing and may say, I want to participate. Banks are not in the business of giving away money. And they're not going to take the money of their depositors and put it in a project where there is a risk of them not getting the results, because they can't afford to do that. The banks would lose and be penalized by the Federal Reserve, and it would decrease the amount of money that the Federal Reserve would give them, and eventually they'll have to close or merge into another bank. So they're not going to do that. If the bank is giving you money and you don't have to fill out no credit report, you don't have to fill out no application, there is no criteria that you have to meet other than having an email account and an activation fee. That's it. That's it. Now, I just enjoy talking about it because I'm living it. I'm living it. I started in a contract on December 27th, 2024. And then on March the 22nd, the one that I started in December was a 3-year contract. I wanted to check this stuff out, but I began to, every report came back was a positive on top of positive. And so in March the 22nd, I said, let me do a 5-year contract. Now, the 3-year contract, at the end of 3 years, is going to pay me $35,000. Let's think about this now. What did it cost me? One single $100 bill. And in 3 years, it returned $35,000. Now, of course, it wasn't that $100 that generated that money. You've heard the phrase use other people's money, but that's just what we're doing. And the banks are leading the way in giving the loan to us. Why are they doing that and allowing us to participate? Because the banks cannot make a loan to themselves. They have to have a human attached to those contracts. So they draw up all the contracts, have the parties there. Cryptex is the management party. Then we got the banks, and then we got the insurance company, but they can't activate those contracts without a human being. It would be unlawful. They can get shut down. So they just can't do it. So they need people like me, need people like you. So they have this part, activation, and to make it legal, there's a activation fee that is paid by the participant. And once they do that, that allows them now to take that contract and the money, the working capital that the bank has given, and to activate it, put it in the markets, invest it, and manage it, and pay out the returns to all four parties. So the bank is doing extremely well. Well, what about the insurance company? The insurance company is making out like a bandit. The insurance company gets $210 out of every 3-year contract, and they get $300 off every 5-year contract, and a little bit more off every 7-year contract. So the insurance company is not complaining; they just love it. But for the 3-year contract, I started that in December, as I said, in 2024. But in March of 2025, on the 22nd, I started a 5-year contract. And that 5-year contract, when it's over, will return $471,000. How much did it cost me? $100. And so I liked it so well that on April the 27th, I started another contract. And so already that's over $1 million. And what did it cost me? $300 for 3 different contracts. And now I've been in the financial industry and familiar with it for a long time. I have traveled over this country doing financial workshops, power to get wealth seminars. I've been around the financial industry for a few decades, and I have never seen a program such as this project, because there are a lot of programs now. Don't get us wrong, there's a lot of programs, and I've seen a lot of them, and there's a lot of good ones. But those that even the good ones have something that this project doesn't have. And what is that? The good ones have a high level risk. This project have a risk that's near Zero. Because there is no other money that you will ever need for a contract other than $100. So if you choose a 5-year contract, you're going to spend $100. That's $20 a year. That's all you're going to need. If that is a project that has taken out all the roadblocks and is totally transparent, it's a community of people. There's no CEO that's going to come in and say, well, we got to go this way, or we having some policy change. No, this is a community project. That means the decisions are made by a community, and we are part of the community, you and I. So it's not driven by a CEO. It's not a corporation. It's a community. And it is one that I am thankful to be a part of. And I hope that you will join me. Because I believe if I could go out on a limb here and say that you spent more than $100 on things that didn't come close to being successful. And you may have some kind of apprehension. I get it. But then I don't get it. Because, there's always going to be failure at something. But it's the ability to bounce back. It's the ability to get back up. I heard somebody say one time that one of the smallest balls that there is the most resilient one. And they wasn't really talking to me, but I heard that statement, and then I said, I better listen. And they gave all of these different, like the baseball, the softball, the football, the basketball. Lo and behold, the one they was talking about was that little golf ball. You throw that golf ball down hard, it's going to bounce up hard. I mean, it's got resiliency. It's going to come back at you. You better get out of this way. Because that golf ball, it will hit with a punch. And that's what you need if you've been going and going and going, and you have failed at this and you failed at that. Seem like you got the failure syndrome. You need the kind of resiliency that golf ball have. You need to say to yourself, I'm going to go at it again. And I'm inviting you to get on this team. And as I said earlier, that if you get on this team, and if those of you that are already on this team, we are going all the way to the top. Because this is the real deal. With real people, with a real service, part of a real community that really have your best interests at heart. So come on and join us. I'm Jerome Jones. Have yourself a Jesus-filled day. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Making Provisions for Ministries, hosted by Bishop Jerome Jones. Join us every week as we discuss aiding ministries in financial growth and prosperity. This is your opportunity to delve into strategies for expanding ministries and acquiring the necessary resources for survival in today's world, and discover practical solutions and actionable steps applicable to any congregation. So until next time, God bless from your friends at Making Provisions for Ministries with host Bishop Jerome Jones.